Since this is going to be a very sensitive video for most people, I figured we could start it out with a little racist story time. Just to make you laugh or maybe offend you, not too sure. We're living in times where everything is offensive to everyone. But I personally do not think it's racist, I just think it's more of a stereotype thing. There has been this meme going around on like Facebook or Instagram, just like social media that I see on Twitter, where there'll be a picture of cornbread and the title will be, "Why are white people making cornbread?" And the picture of the cornbread will have like random ingredients like chunks of carrots in it. Just some random things that would have my great-grandma turning over in her grave. And I'm looking at it like, this isn't real. People don't put carrots and like chunks of onions and stuff in cornbread. These memes are fake news. So the other day I'm upstairs working on my computer and I hear the phone ring and my boyfriend picks up the phone. He is white and it's his sister. So we are hosting Thanksgiving at our house for the first time and I'm super excited because I love his family and everything, and Thanksgiving or Christmas is great at their house, but there's also absolutely no music, dancing, fighting, threatening each other, and then by the end of the night you make up and you're playing games again. Stuff that I'm used to that happens in my family when we have family gatherings. So I hear her call and I hear a little bit of the conversation because it's on speaker, and she says, do you want me to bring something for Thanksgiving? And he's like, yeah, you can bring whatever you want. What are you thinking? And she says, cornbread. And I start listening in. And she says, I kid you not, I'm thinking of putting jalapenos in it this year. Were all those memes real? Am I living in some type of alternate universe? Is this the Twilight Zone? I will let you guys know how that goes.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Hi guys, I just wanted to thank everybody who ordered Proto, my little small protein donut business. We sold out within hours. The first day we restocked our store. So thank you so much. I will make sure to announce on Instagram when we are back in stock with more donuts, and we have new flavors coming out. Thank you so much. I couldn't do any of this without you guys. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and if you are new, welcome. If you can't tell, we are cosplaying for Influencer Month, one of my favorite YouTubers, Blair White. So today, we are Blair Black. I figured that she gets called a man, I get called a man. It just seems like it fits. So after my video where I talked about my experience going on Shark Tank with my small business, and I kind of give you guys like a background of how my small business started and everything, and I referenced Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson because I really look up to Jeffree Star's work ethic when it comes to business. He started literally from the bottom and now he's there. Ugh, I feel down with the kids. Anyway, so I referenced those guys quite a bit and said that I bought their palette, and I asked you guys, do you guys hate or love Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star? And why? And y'all had a lot to say. And the most reoccurring thing that I saw as to why you would hate them is that they're racist. I also noticed in my Nicole Arbour video, a lot of people said, well, I hate her because she's racist. And since Blair White is called a racist quite a bit, I thought it would be the perfect video to cosplay as Blair White, list off the top racist YouTubers, see some of the racist things they did or said, and then you guys tell me if you think that they are racist. Do they hate a certain race and want them to just die or something? I'm not sure what racist people want. And of course, I will tell you my opinion near the end of the video because I like you guys to come up with your own opinions and not just mash yours into what I think. So first, because we like to do our research first, we can't just listen to whatever everybody else says. Just because they say someone's racist doesn't actually mean that they are racist. So we are gonna look at a few things that these YouTubers said that influence people to say that they're racist. 5, Blair White. I'm cosplaying as her, we might as well start with her. Blair White is a trans YouTuber mostly known for her in-your-face commentary about trans rights. She gets called many names, transphobe, even though she is a trans woman, and she also gets called a racist. I only could find a couple things as to why she was called a racist, and one of them is because she did blackface. And by blackface, I mean she put on a charcoal mask and people took it to the next level, all because she has a different opinion on them and they wanted to make it seem like something that it wasn't. I know a few black people had something to say because she talked about the radicals in the Black Lives Matter group. And honestly, the radical that she did talk about, the video that I saw, that guy was crazy.
He believes that black people killing cops is an act of heroism.
Cop killers are black heroes.
The only thing that I could really see people calling her racist is the fact that she voted for Trump. Now, you guys probably disagree with me here, but I don't talk politics. I don't care for anyone in the office. I don't care for any government official. I don't care for anyone in that high power group. I don't trust any of them. I find them to be a cross between a high-powered salesman and a magician, an evil one from fairy tale, kind of showing their target market the illusion that they want to see. But behind closed doors, they're probably not the best people. But if she voted for Trump, then she is racist. That's what I'm deciding. Just kidding. So I want to talk about this a little bit. I know a lot of people, and I know a lot of people don't want to believe this. I see people saying like no other race would ever vote for Trump. Black people, Mexicans, nobody, none of those people would ever vote for Trump. I work very closely with quite a bit of people, and personal trainers are basically therapists, so people tell you quite a bit of things that they probably shouldn't be telling me. One of them is who they voted for. And I know quite a bit of people from all different shapes, sizes, genders, and races who have voted for Trump. I personally do not find them to be racist people, but they mostly voted for him because their beliefs lined up with his policies. But I don't think it's very logical to say that every single person who voted for Trump is a racist. People throw that word around way too often, and it's definitely losing its credibility. So I personally couldn't find any actual evidence that Blair White is racist to certain groups. So right now in the comment section, let me know if you think Blair White is racist or not. And then I'm going to tell you my opinion in 1, 2, 3, 4, and no. 4, PewDiePie. PewDiePie, or Felix, and then a last name that I am not going to even try to pronounce, is the most popular YouTuber with over 100 million subscribers. The top YouTuber has had the racist card thrown at him quite a bit, and even lost a lucrative contract with Disney after posting content making repeated references to Nazis in videos.
PewDiePie allegedly paid these guys $5 to hold up a sign that says death to all Jews.
This article that I found, dated back to 2017, stated that PewDiePie said the N-word during a live stream video playing a game.
What a Jeez, oh my god, what the Sorry, but what the
After the word was said, Felix realizes that they are live and millions of his watchers just heard him say the racial slur. His co-broadcaster attempted to play down his, quote, weird filter, end quote, as a result of him being foreign. Ah, the foreign excuse. Okay, so pretty much what his co-broadcaster was saying is that PewDiePie's first language isn't English, so PewDiePie not know what he doing. My favorite excuse for when you're caught saying something that's not the smartest thing to say. But I find it interesting that after the co-broadcaster said that, he then comes out with the famous YouTuber apology where he stated that he's heard other gamers say this and he thinks that that talk is absolutely disgusting and immature.
Hello, I wanted to make a statement on what I said in my previous live stream. You probably won't believe me when I say this, but whenever I go online and I hear other players use the same kind of language that I did, I always find it extremely immature and stupid. And I hate how I now personally fed into that part of gaming.
Positive thing is that at least he said sorry and the video was 1 minute and 35 seconds long. Not this 30-40 minute long drawn out video full of tears and ugly cries, Laura Lee soap opera type. So there's a positive. 3, Shane Dawson. Shane Dawson is another popular YouTuber with over 20 million subscribers on YouTube. His videos reach 17 to 20 million views. Shane has been on YouTube for over a decade and has changed the style of his videos as well. His videos today are more therapeutic, get to know famous YouTubers and have a good cry session and see how these famous YouTubers live their everyday lives. But those aren't the videos that we're gonna be talking about today. We're talking about the videos that had you guys saying Shane is a racist in my comment section. The time that Shane did blackface, which was a surprise to me, I never knew this, and just like PewDiePie, he said the N-word, not on a live stream, but on a video that he pre-recorded and decided to willingly post on the internet for everyone to see. Shane likes to dress up in a variety of different characters, but in a few videos he dressed up as African-American characters. For example, Will Smith from The Prince of Bel-Air.
This is a story all about how my life got twisted upside down.
He had dark makeup on his face. He decided to also dress up as a black woman.
Hey.
A white woman, where he refers to his black friend as a N-word, B-word, monkey woman.
Monkey woman, you're the best!
He dressed as Nicki Minaj with dark makeup on his face as well, and also did the word of the day where he shouted the N-word.
Chocolate. The word of the day is... Nick.
Shout out to the black girl just standing there smiling. To my knowledge, these videos got, like discovered years after. So when he got very popular, this is kind of what leaked. And shortly after they got discovered, Shane issued out the infamous, very popular apology video.
This video is an apology.
So just like Blair White and PewDiePie, make sure to tell me your opinion on Shane Dawson in the comment section right now. And I'm gonna wait to tell you guys my opinion on this till the end of the video. 2. Nicole Arbour, Canadian YouTuber mostly known for her viral video, Dear Fat People. I made a video about that and how it really wasn't so offensive that it needed to be on news stations and covered by every media outlet. But I noticed many of you guys were saying, well, what about her video, Dear Black People? She was racist in it, Michelle. I personally felt like a lot of commenters were wanting me to hate her because they hated her, so they were looking for something or anything that would relate to me so that I would hate her as well. So I decided to watch the video instead of just taking other people's word for it, and it was weird.
It was all a dream. I used to read 17 magazine. Bunch of white girls going to prom in the limousine. Dear Black people.
I didn't think it was offensive to me, like I didn't get offended. I just thought it was weird.
I see y'all using pickles at your barbecues, on your hamburgers. Yeah, that's appropriating Polish culture.
And more as to she's really just putting these trigger topics on here because she wants the attention, just like Dear Fat People. So I was very surprised that people were saying like, oh, this video is so racist. I was like, maybe it's because she said the word black. I went through some of the comments and there were some people saying like, you guys saved me 5 minutes of my life. I'm not even gonna watch the video, and then called her racist. But they didn't even watch the video, so they couldn't come to their own conclusion. They just kind of took everybody else's opinion and then applied it to what they thought. So weird, yes. Racist, not in my opinion. Thirsty for attention, definitely.
Black girls, can we talk about your nails for a second?
So I did some more looking around because I know you guys wouldn't be satisfied with just that one video, and I don't want anyone commenting and saying, well, what about this? Well, what about that? I'm sure there are other things that you guys can probably find, but I did find another tweet. Nicole did a little remix of Childish Gambino's This Is America music video and changed it to focus on women's rights. The problem people had with that is that a white girl stole a song that was about the hardship of people of color in America and pretty much made it about herself. She then followed up with a tweet saying, I'm so sick of people mad about slavery. Very surprised she didn't know that people were gonna be pissed off about this tweet. Also saw that a lot of people didn't finish the tweet. They kind of cut it off so that it looks like it was just that blunt statement. I'm so sick of people mad at slavery. It's the past. We weren't there, we didn't do it. But what we can do is fix economic slavery. Focus on the now. I still don't think that this tweet is racist. I don't think it shows that, oh, she hates Black people. I'm not sure why she would decide to post this because anything she says that is controversial, people are going to just take wrong. No matter what, I think people in general are just not too fond of Nicole or how she portrays her opinions, and so anything she says, people are going to find something wrong with, even if she's correct. With that being said, I can also see what she's saying. For example, I have a family member at all these family gatherings, at least back then when I would actually go to family gatherings and I, didn't move and whatnot, but we have this family member that is always talking about the white man did this, the white man did that, slavery this, slavery that, because of slavery, this is where I'm at in life. And someone was so tired of it, they stood up and literally said, what the do you know about slavery? Was your there? And it's true, he wasn't there. He has absolutely nothing to complain about. He actually had a very privileged start, but he has a horrible work ethic, and so that's pretty much why he's at where he is in life. I have a few family members like that uses slavery or just being Black in general as to why they aren't successful, but everybody else is kind of just like, no, you just kind of suck at life. You're not good at working. I do think that there are situations that happen because someone is a specific race, but I think people take it too far. I think they just like to use it as an excuse for their lack of work ethic.
One of my people kidnapped one of your people, put him in a tub and beat him up a little bit. They scraped him up a little bit, tied him, went on live streaming stuff about it. Have you heard about it?
I did. I heard about it.
Crazy, right? But actually it's not so crazy since, your people built an entire capitalist, imperialist society on top of my people. You want to talk about kidnapping and torture. Can we talk about the almost 700 years of kidnapping and torture of African people?
But of course, if Nicole Arbour said anything that I just said, she would get roasted to the highest degree because it's Nicole Arbour. And because she's white, so there's also that. But I can see what she's saying. We can't go and change the past. Slavery is a very sensitive topic and a horrible thing that happened back then, but like I said, what can we do to change the fact that slavery happened? I mean, you tell me in the comment section, how exactly can we go back in the past and stop slavery and make it so that it never happened? Exactly. So now, since you can't really tell me that in the comment section, tell me if you think that Nicole Arbour is racist or not. But I personally don't find her racist. I find her seeking attention. And now to number one, the one that felt like you guys said was the most racist person when I referred to their business, Jeffree Star. Jeffree Star is one of the most popular makeup beauty bloggers on YouTube, has gotten in trouble in the past for saying some very offensive racial comments. The first thing I found is a skit he was doing with a drag queen where he says he's going to pour battery acid on, I'm guessing, on a woman of color's face to bleach her skin so that it matches makeup better.
Well, maybe if she wasn't wearing the wrong foundation color, I wouldn't have to splash no battery acid. I wanted to lighten her skin tone, girl.
Okay.
I was a little confused as to what was going on because I was like, hey, well, no one's black in here. I didn't get that he's like bleaching, like he's talking about skin bleaching, which is very, very like a big topic in the black community because a lot of people, especially back then, they don't like dark skin. They think it's ugly. I've had people in recent days say like, oh, you have the perfect complexion of skin. I'm like, what does that mean? And they're like, oh, you're not too dark. And then I ask them, what is too dark? And then they get all weird because what they just said is pretty rude. But I'm pretty sure they took it to that level because the drag queen in here was acting like a stereotypical black woman.
Girl, you know damn motherfucking well what you did.
And then Jeffree was interacting with that, and then he said the battery acid type deal. The second thing I found was that he was getting slurs yelled at him while he was walking down the street.
Bye, faggot!
And then he came back with,
shut up, you fucking bitch.
So I want to talk about this section really quick because I'm not going to come back to it when I say my opinion at the end of the video. So I think the skit was but at the same time, I do remember a lot of skits going on like that, like back in the day, because this was like a long time ago. You can tell from Jeffree's faces before all of his surgeries and everything that he got done. This is like when he first started, I think, on MySpace.
We're saying this as the 6th stupid skit we filmed. And now, 13 years later, it has morphed into Jeffree tells women of color that they need to lighten their skin tone and he's gonna throw acid on every girl.
And then, like everybody else, it got kind of, well, like Shane Dawson's, it got kind of like scooped up once Jeffree got very popular. So I remember a lot of humor going on like this on the internet. It wasn't my thing. When I was watching, I was like, okay, maybe I can find the humor if they like land jokes pretty well. I didn't laugh. You tell me if you did in the comment section. I personally thought it was pretty cringe. I didn't get offended. It was more like, wow, I'm not too sure why you would say that. But I also found that he supposedly referred to Jackie Aina as a gorilla.
Honey, I've been to jail. I will shank you, fool.
Jackie Aina is a very popular black makeup YouTuber as well. So I was a little confused on this one because I found a few videos saying that the person exposing Jeffree Star kind of manipulated the text messages. Yeah, the text messages or the messages in Facebook, I'm not too sure, maybe text messages, I'll put them right here. Manipulated them in a way because Jeffree, it was his ex-stylist, Jeffree fired him, something went on, some kind of disagreement, so was very upset that they wouldn't be working together, they had a disagreement, and so he kind of put this whole scheme together. And I found it very interesting because at first I was like, I mean, he's got the text, and then people were saying that looks distorted, or he like did something to the messages and faked it, and then he came out with a video saying, watch, I'm gonna expel, like I have proof, like hardcore proof about Jeffree Star calling Jackie Aina a gorilla or all this other stuff that Jeffree Star said in the background, and then he never posted the video.
I found my old cell phone and I think a story time would be really good right about now. Sitting here and I'm thinking about people that like to fan people out and constantly put other people's business out there. And I've been quiet so long that I'm sitting here like, why don't I fan people out? Like, why don't I have a little story time and let people really know the tea, real? I'm like over here sitting here like, I'm about to drop a name and make it an LLC, bruh. I think that the first 200 subscribers that subscribe to my channel are gonna be getting a little story time from me.
So once again, it's just taking people's word for it, which once again is not something that I like to do, just take people's word for it. I want to hear the hardcore proof, because you can say that about anyone. I can say that that person over there, Luffy, racist. Nami, racist. Zoro, which is my cartoon boo, racist. But because you guys brought it up quite a bit, let's pretend all of us heard Jeffree Star call Jackie a gorilla live. Dude, Jeffree, move. So I'm just not sure if it's lack of education when it comes to history or actual just racism and someone wants to hurt someone's feelings in the absolute lowest way possible. But black people were referred to as apes back in the day. It was an insult. We were looked at as dirty, uneducated, nasty primates. So it has a very deep and thick historical connection. So I would warn everyone, especially if you are a public figure, to probably not refer to someone of color as a gorilla. Little story though from when I was younger, because when I was little, I got a lot, like my mom gave us a lot of Black history. I've heard stories from my mom's generation, my grandma, and my great-grandma generations about stories of how it was back then, where the color of the skin actually affected their lives, and they were referred to as little monkey. The phrase that Shane Dawson said to his Black friend.
Oh, monkey woman, you're the best!
So time warp, like back to when I was around 8 or 9, and we had a family, like a bunch of family over, and I was just like in the corner playing with my little Barbies, and everybody was a little like it was a good time, and then someone said, oh, so-and-so is coming, who is family just by marriage. They don't like her. She's done a lot of cheating and shady things to one of my uncles. And someone said, oh, well, she's gonna show up soon. The family's coming over. And the whole mood changes, and everybody was talking all of this mess. And I remember one of my second aunts stood up. She was like, if that gorilla looking heifer set her monkey foot in this house. And then she said some pretty violent things after that I won't repeat on YouTube. But no one thought anything of it. Actually, people started laughing extremely hard. But it stuck to me, especially as a little kid, because I remember sitting and my grandma, great-grandma, grandfather, great-grandfather telling me all these stories about white people referring to Black people as gorillas, monkeys, primates. I remember how horrible they said it was, and how, you know, just rude, and how it made them feel like complete. You know, someone saying that to your face just because of the color of your skin, and how it was very acceptable back then to do that. And now the same people who were telling me those stories and say how horrible it was to refer to Black people as primates are now laughing hysterically at the fact that one of my aunts called a Black person a gorilla and a monkey foot. Could you imagine if it was a white person saying the exact same thing or joke? What would happen? Exactly what happened to Jeffree Star. I'm not saying it's right, just something that I thought I would bring up that I remember from just a little girl and just being a little confused as to why are you saying the no-no jokes? Now on to the infamous controversial N-word, because I noticed the majority of people use the N-word on here, minus Nicole Arbour and Blair.
I know the N-word is a really bad word, like never say it. Can you please do white people a favor and stop putting the N-word in the best hip-hop songs?
But onto PewDiePie, Jeffree Star, and Shane, the N-word. So I think that the people who believe that the N-word is a word no one should say won't like what I have to say, and I also feel like the people who think it's a cool word probably won't like this either. But oh well, we all have different opinions on things, and we're going to disagree at some point. And like I said, I like to put my feet in other people's shoes and try to look at it in both perspectives. So another tiny story time when I got called the N-word. I went to a lot of schools. I was constantly the new girl. So I went from a very multicultural school in Virginia and then moved to Corvallis, Oregon, where there was about 3 Black people. And I remember this random chick who I really didn't know very well was joking around and then turned to me and called me the N-word. I was livid because that was a hateful word. My aunts would get in fights because they were little N-word girls. My grandparents and people in my family from that generation were people who got called the word out of hate and lived in an era where their race actually really did affect the way people treated them. It affected whether or not they got the job, it affected where they sat, and I grew up listening to all of these stories, so when I heard a white person calling me that word, I was pissed. And it was a big thing at this school. It was a big thing to me. I was very hurt by that. Me and the very limited amount of Black people at that school decided that we are going to make life a living hell because she is racist. Obviously. We were on a mission to, as you young kids say it today, cancel her, but in middle school form, and we didn't have like social media back then. Fights started, parents got called, it turned into this very, very large thing. We all got called into the principal's office, and then we had to talk to the counselor who was Black. So the other 2 Black people along with the girl who we said was racist. So the counselor, like I said, was Black, and she was very irritated that this happened. She made it very clear that she never wants to hear that kind of speech from her again. The girl was in tears, like she couldn't get a word out. She was really ugly crying, very similar to the Laura Lee Chronicles. So once she made all of that clear and the girl looked like she was about to die, she was told to leave and go back to class, and then our counselor wanted to talk to us, the Black people, alone, and she pretty much said that was a very, crappy thing that she said, but she also said that people say very stupid things sometimes that they don't mean. And so that little middle school, me and my girls were like, yeah. I was extremely mad at the fact that that this black person was sticking up for someone who's an obvious racist. She should be banning with us and ruining her life. Cancel culture was always a thing, it's just now in social media. Now, as an adult, I can finally understand what she's saying. People do sometimes say stupid things that pop out that they really don't mean, or when they're under pressure. I'm referring to Jeffree Star when he's on the street and you know, said those words to the group of white people. I was catching up on the Real Housewives the other day, and Nene was doing a stand-up show or some type of live show, and someone from the audience yelled, "Go kill yourself." And that enraged her, and she yelled back, "I hope you get." Do I really think that she wants that person to go get? No, I think she said something extremely stupid and ridiculous under pressure. Now, with that being said, the other side of me is like, I don't have the N-word or that phrase, "I hope you get," in my vocabulary. No matter how hard someone pisses me off, no matter what derogatory name someone calls me, and I have had some comments say some pretty rude things to me, the N-word would never come out of my mouth, and that's as a black person, and it's supposed to be socially acceptable for black people to say the N-word. I know darn well I'm not going to get so mad that I'm gonna say, "I hope you get." It's not in my vocabulary, it's never been in my head. I don't hang out with people that joke like that, so it's not like it'll subconsciously just come out of my mouth. So it does make you wonder, where did these insults, words, phrases come from? But I have seen people crack under that pressure, and in that video he said that he was coming from a place of hate.
Yeah, what I said was racist, but I wasn't saying it to a person of color. I was saying a horrible, offensive word to cut back at someone calling me something awful. So it's not about race, it's not about any of that. It was just about being an offensive, attention-seeking, angry person.
He said that he was so upset at the fact that these people were saying all these extremely hateful, vile things to him, he wanted to insult them in the lowest way possible. Once again, still not completely sure why the N-word was thrown out to white people. They have absolutely no connection to that word, but I have seen people crack under that type of pressure. But I also get the other people that are very upset about that. I get it, I hate that word as well. It sucks that I love his recent content so much, I like his personality, so it sucks that he said those words because I want to support, but I can also see what you guys are saying as well. And the people who are going to bring up the whole gorilla thing, once again, there was all that stuff going on about that guy was just trying to start something, and there's just not enough evidence for me to be like, well, you're an ass, Jeffree. But if he did do that and anything comes out in the future that has some cold hard proof, then, you know, I am not a fan. Now, Shane, I think it was very similar to my school, a bunch of white kids who don't really know the severity of that word. I was listening to these stories from my family since I was little. Do you think that little white kids got the same stories that I got? No. That kid that called me the N-word didn't have any black friends, was very into rap and hip hop culture. I found out that she threw that word around to be cool all the time. I just happened to be the wrong person to be throwing that word around with. I'm not making excuses for people, but there are people that really just didn't get the education that I got when it comes to black history. And then they love to listen to like rap and hip hop and they think it's the cool thing to say. Or their little black friend gives them the pass. Yeah, say that word, it's just a word.
The word of the day is
I saw a lot of black YouTubers say, you know, stop giving power to a word, which I agree to an extent, but at the same time, there are gonna be people out here that don't like that word, and it's apparent that a lot of people don't like that word because when someone who is not black uses that word, they tend to get canceled if they are a public figure. So the word has a lot of power in it. But it sounds like most of these racist cards got thrown around because of the N-word. I am not a fan. I'm not a fan of anyone saying it. Yes, black people, I am looking at you. I think all the white people from back in the day are laughing at you when you refer to each other as that word. I think anyone who uses it just looks uneducated. I personally don't hang with people that use the word. That's just my opinion and my personal choice. That's probably why it's not in my vocabulary, because you literally become the people that you surround yourself with. And I don't surround myself with those type of people on a regular basis. I might like know them, hello, those kind of things, but to actually hang out, have those people in my house, go out with them, I don't. So my end verdict is I don't know if they are racist. I don't know if they have a hatred for black people or a certain race. They said extremely disgusting things, but I'm not someone who can say, oh, they're racist. I can't say if they aren't either. I don't know them. I know people say stupid things sometimes. Sometimes they mean it, and sometimes they don't. I can't tell people what they mean. I definitely can't lie, I do think of them differently because like I said, no matter how mad I get or how much someone insults me, I would never call anyone the N-word and I would never say what Nene said out of anger. As public figures, you need to remember everything you do is going to be speculated, turned, dissected, and resurrected from your past. So you better watch your mouth because people will bring it up, especially if you are successful. If you haven't already, let me know your opinions. Are these people, 1 through 5, are they racist people? I'm very curious to know everybody's opinion, but I do want to know other black people's opinions because it seems to be a whole black and white issue all the time. I'm really curious to know what you guys think about this whole thing. Remember, I usually read and heart all of the comments the first day that I release a video. So I will see you guys in the comment section. I know the comment section will be very thick and juicy. If you want more of me, check out my Instagram. If you are not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. It helps me very much. And if there is a topic that you want me to talk about, because we talk about anything on this channel, no topic is off limit as long as I find it very interesting. Tell me in the comment section and it might show up as a main video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.